Hey designers, in this video I want to share the importance of sending both an investment guide and a welcome packet to your prospects and clients. I know if you are in the first few years in your business, it may be confusing as to what documents you're supposed to send to look established, to look professional, but it's not just about that. You want to ensure that there's absolutely zero miscommunication so that you avoid legal issues down the line. So in this video, I will share the main differences between the two, what they should include, and why you need both before you get started with your projects. And before we get into more details, I want to remind you that a couple months ago, we released 2 client bundles. They include all the client templates that you will need to send your clients, whether they are prospects or you're onboarding them, all the way to offboarding them. Everything that you need is included in those 2 bundles. There too, because the designs are different, so depending on your brand identity, you may be more attracted to one or the other. This entire bundle is only $47. It has 3 bonuses as well, so you get also email templates that you will need throughout the lifespan of your projects, and other bonuses. So I will link it down below so you can check them out, and let's get into it. So when we talk about investment guide and welcome packet, they're actually quite different. A lot of people confuse them. They think they are about the same, but you wouldn't send them at the same stage. An investment guide is before this prospect becomes a client, so they are interested in your business, and that's when you want to send the investment guide. And then once you onboard them, that's when you would send your welcome packet. I'm just going to start with the investment guide, as it's most likely the first document that you're going to send prospects. As the name suggests, investment guide, it's going to outline costs. It's not going to be very detailed based on your business. Like if you have to send a fee proposal and really quote for a specific project, then the investment guide is not going to be super specific, but it's already going to give prospects a good idea about what budget they should have if they want to be working with you in the future. So it's going to set clear expectation as to what your services are, how they're going to be able to work with you, the entire process of working with you, what budget they have to allow for, and so on. It's also a great place to outline the different phases of the project so that it's clear to them the way that you work and, for example, how much of the total fee they can expect to pay at each phase of the project. Prospects should feel guided through the financial investment and understand the value of the service that you provide. This document is also a great starting point for reviewing areas where they may want to allocate a bigger budget, and then areas where they may want to save a little bit on costs. I love the idea of sending an investment guide because I want to be completely transparent with my clients. They need to know exactly what they're getting into. While I love talking to clients, there's no point for you to be doing discovery calls or even in-person visits to their home if they just don't have the budget to work with you. So as a business, it doesn't make sense for you to waste any more of your time or their time as well. So that's why having an investment guide and being transparent about your fees is a great starting point for a successful relationship. And if you're trying to attract high-value clients, those higher-paying clients, they have to see that the service that you provide is going to be high value for them. They want to know that they're going to get the experience that they pay for. And if you show yourself as someone who is not organized, you don't have a clear process, you just go with the flow, it's not going to work. By sending them an investment guide where everything is outlined, it's clear, you're transparent about the fees, you're confident about your fees, because that's something else. A lot of designers are scared to ask for the money that they want to make, and as a result they get clients who don't want to spend. When you're clear about your fees and you know that you are worth charging that for your services, then people who have higher budgets are going to be attracted by your confidence. And of course, an investment guide is there for people to make informed decisions. They know exactly what to expect, and there is no room for guesswork. You don't want to miss out on important information that is going to cause problems down the line. So you want to ensure that all the questions that have been asked in the past are answered in this guide. So to summarize, an investment guide is going to be a great tool for you to introduce your company, be transparent about your fees, the design phases, what they can expect when they're going to be working with you. and it's going to establish trust between you and the prospect before they decide to start working with you. Okay, moving on to the welcome packet. The welcome packet is going to be sent when the client is getting onboarded. So it means that they most likely already paid the first invoice. So this comes after the fee proposal. They agree to your fees. You're getting started, they've signed the contract, they've paid the first invoice, and when you onboard them, you want to send them a welcome packet. So again, the welcome packet is also going to show you as a company that's organized, professional, established, and it's going to continue building trust between you and the client because they're seeing that they're getting a high level of service from you. And so, of course, the difference with the investment guide is that they're getting that when they're getting onboarded. They're going to get more information about your design process. So, for example, for my business, I have, I believe, 3 different welcome packets because we have 3 distinct services, and it doesn't make sense for me to share everything in one welcome packet. It's just going to overwhelm the clients. So for me, it made more sense to create 2-3 welcome packets based on the service that they chose. So for example, if they want to delegate to our team, then it's going to be more focused on how we work, the entire process of working with us, how they can delegate the tasks, the dashboard that we're going to use, the phases, if there are any, and how they can reach out, and if they have questions, and the most frequently asked questions, etc. If they're getting a fixed package, then they're getting a different welcome packet because this is more, that has to do more with the branding and the website design and the copywriting. So it's something that's very different. It doesn't make sense for me to have everything in one welcome packet. People just need information that they need. They don't want to be overloaded with information. So I'm thinking if you have a project that is going to be full design, from design to all the way to construction and installs, then you want a different welcome packet than someone who's just doing e-design. So that would make more sense. So for a project that has a clear scope of work, you want to ensure that within that welcome packet, they understand the design phases, how long they're going to take. They want to know more about the payment schedule, maybe frequently asked questions again, a little bit more about your company as well, how they can reach out if they have problems, what your boundaries are in terms of emailing and calls, communication. You want to outline everything in this welcome packet so that everything is clear on both sides and there's no room for miscommunication or problems down the line. And that's part of my welcome packet because now everything is done digitally. I also have links where I can try to upsell something else that I think they might need or they might want based on the service that they purchased. I also link questionnaires with information that I need to move forward. So for you, for example, you could have a link to a questionnaire regarding their style. You could ask them for a Pinterest board that they started with inspiration. All the information that you need can be linked in this welcome packet. So instead of having lots of different forms, you can include everything within that one welcome packet so it looks neat. It's not hard for them to find information, and it's going to make you look super professional. Okay, so this was a very short video. We saw that the investment guide is sent as early on as possible. There's one thing that I didn't mention is how you're going to be able to share the investment guide, because the goal as a business owner is not to do everything manually. So wait for people to email you and then you're going to email them back the investment guide. Ideally, you start automating as much as possible. And if you have a newsletter, it's a great opportunity for you to get their emails, to add them into your newsletter, your email list. So I use ActiveCampaign, but anyone will do. I know there's MailChimp and others as well. So what you could do is the same that I did on my website. If you go to my website, you will see that there is a button that says download the investment guide. If you click on this button, it's going to take you to an ActiveCampaign form that asks you for your name and your email. And those two information are super important because, and of course the checkbox saying that you're consenting to be added to my newsletter. So you're going to add this information, you're going to click on submit, and then it's going to trigger an automatic email from ActiveCampaign that's going to send you an email within a few seconds with the link to the investment guide. And it's also automatically going to add you to my email list, so that then it's an opportunity for me to build a relationship with you, sending you tips, tricks over email. And then at some point, if you're not ready to sign with us now, you might do so within the next few months. And it's the same for you if you don't have an email list. It's okay. I think having an email list is super important, but it's not the topic of this video. So anyway, you could start automating and setting up something so that people can just add their name and their email, and then they get an email with the investment guide. And yeah, the welcome packet can also be automated. You know, if you use Dubsado, I use Dubsado as my client management tool. And as part of that, when the client pays the invoice or signs the contract, it triggers the onboarding process. And as part of this onboarding process, they're going to receive the welcome packet. You don't have to automate that if the welcome packet is going to be customized for each client. But if it's not, which I do recommend if you want to start growing your business, scale it, it's very difficult if everything is customized. But at this point, you could decide that you want to send something specific to each client, and then this is when you're going to be sending the welcome packet when they get onboarded as clients. So these two documents are super important. As I said at the beginning of this video, we released 2 client bundles. They are available in the shop on our website. I will link it down below. Those bundles have all the templates that you need. They're Canva templates, so it makes it very easy for you to change the colors, the fonts, add your logo. The copy is already in there, so for designers who are just getting started, they lack the time or the experience to know what to include in those templates, you already have the copy that was written by interior designers for designers, and it's a great tool to save time and provide a spotless client experience. So I will link it down below, as I said, and it's only $47, and you get 8 templates plus 3 bonuses. I'll see you in the next video.